I have spent decades covering the National Football League, and I have seen many coaching cycles come and go. I have witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties and the unexpected shifts that redefine the competitive landscape of a division. However, the news I am reporting today is perhaps one of the most intriguing developments I have seen in recent memory. We are looking at a potential scenario where a legendary figure from a rival organization might just be the one to lead the Cleveland Browns into their next chapter. According to reports from Gridiron Heroics and corroborated by multiple league sources, former Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh is reportedly considering the Cleveland Browns for his next head coaching position. His agent has already confirmed that there has been rapid outreach from several organizations, and Harbaugh has narrowed his focus down to 4 specific NFL teams. The Browns are prominently on that list. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and tell me in the comments, which city are you supporting the Browns from today? I want to know where our fan base is strongest. This news is significant because it represents a potential paradigm shift in the AFC North. For 16 seasons, Harbaugh was the face of the Baltimore Ravens. He was the man responsible for keeping that franchise at the top of the league, winning a Super Bowl and maintaining a level of consistency that most teams can only dream of. Now he is looking at the landscape and seeing Cleveland as a viable destination. From a technical standpoint, this makes immense sense, even if it feels emotionally jarring for fans who have spent years viewing him as the primary antagonist. The Browns have a roster that is built to win now. When you look at the defensive side of the ball, led by Myles Garrett, you see a unit that is ready for a coach who understands how to manage high-level talent. Harbaugh has always been a coach who prioritizes physical play, special teams excellence, and defensive reliability. His history in Baltimore was defined by those very traits. The fact that he is narrowing his focus to 4 teams suggests that he is not just looking for a paycheck, he is looking for a situation where the infrastructure is already in place to support a deep playoff run. The Browns front office, led by Andrew Berry, has been aggressive in recent years. They have shown a willingness to spend and a commitment to acquiring elite talent. This outreach to Harbaugh is a clear signal that they are looking for a definitive leader to maximize that talent. We are talking about a coach with 160 regular season wins and 12 playoff victories. That level of experience is rare on the open market. Usually when a coach of this caliber becomes available, they have their pick of the litter. The interest being mutual says a lot about how the league views the current state of the Cleveland Browns. They are no longer the organization of old. They are seen as a sleeping giant that just needs the right hand at the helm. The context of this decision is also fascinating when you consider the organizational culture. Harbaugh is known for his ability to build a cohesive culture where players buy into a collective goal. In Cleveland, we have seen flashes of greatness, but we have also seen periods of inconsistency and internal friction. Bringing in a veteran presence like Harbaugh could provide the stability that has been elusive. His agent's confirmation of rapid outreach underscores just how high the demand is. Teams recognize that you do not often get a chance to hire a Super Bowl champion who has proven he can win in the modern NFL. The fact that Cleveland is in the top 4 indicates that the groundwork has already been laid. I am hearing that the conversations have been productive and that Harbaugh is specifically intrigued by the defensive personnel in Cleveland. He understands the AFC North better than perhaps anyone else currently available. He knows what it takes to win in the cold, in the physical trenches of this division, and against the specific schemes of the Steelers and Bengals. This isn't just about hiring a coach, it is about hiring a strategist who has spent nearly 2 decades mastering the very environment the Browns reside in. As we look at the timeline, things are moving quickly. When an agent confirms this level of focus, it usually means negotiations are beyond the preliminary stages. We are looking at a situation where a decision could be made sooner rather than later. The league is watching this closely because if Harbaugh lands in Cleveland, the power balance of the entire AFC changes overnight. It would be a monumental hire for a franchise that is hungry for a return to the elite level of professional football.
Continuing our deep dive into this developing story, we must look at the technical and financial implications of bringing John Harbaugh to Cleveland. From a salary cap perspective, the head coach's salary does not count against the player cap, but the resources he demands for his staff do matter. Harbaugh is a coach who historically prefers a large, specialized staff. He values high-level coordinators and has a knack for developing coaching talent. If the Browns secure his services, expect a significant overhaul of the supporting staff to align with his specific philosophy. This is where the partnership with Andrew Berry becomes critical. Berry has been a meticulous planner when it comes to the roster, and Harbaugh would likely want a significant say in personnel decisions, particularly regarding special teams and the secondary. One of the most interesting aspects of this potential move is the impact on the quarterback room. Deshaun Watson is at a crossroads in his career, and the Browns have a massive financial commitment tied to him. Harbaugh has experienced managing different styles of quarterbacks, from the pocket presence of Joe Flacco to the dynamic athleticism of Lamar Jackson. His ability to adapt his scheme to the strengths of his signal caller is one of his most underrated traits. If he believes he can get the best out of Watson, that might be the deciding factor for the Browns brass. Furthermore, we have to talk about the analytics versus traditional football debate. Harbaugh has always been a coach who balances gut feeling with data. He was one of the early adopters of aggressive fourth down decision-making, long before it became a league-wide trend. This aligns perfectly with the analytical approach that the Cleveland front office has championed over the last few seasons. It would be a marriage of veteran experience and modern methodology. When you look at the statistics, Harbaugh's teams have consistently ranked in the top 10 in special teams DVOA. For a Browns team that has struggled with field position and kicking game consistency at times, this would be a massive upgrade. It is the hidden yardage that wins games in the AFC North, and Harbaugh is the master of finding those margins. The future implications of this hire cannot be overstated. We are talking about a coach who has reached the AFC Championship game 3 times. He knows how to navigate the pressure of the postseason. For a fan base that has waited decades for a deep run, Harbaugh represents the shortest path to that goal. He brings a level of credibility that silences critics and attracts free agents. Players want to play for winners, and Harbaugh is a winner. The outreach confirmed by his agent suggests that other teams in the mix might include franchises with young, high-upside quarterbacks, but Cleveland's roster is the most complete. That is likely why they have made the Final Four. In summary, the possibility of John Harbaugh becoming the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns is a narrative that few could have predicted a year ago. It is a story of a former rival seeing the potential in a team he once tried to suppress. If this deal closes, it marks the beginning of an era defined by discipline, stability, and a championship pedigree. The Browns are making a statement that they are no longer satisfied with being competitive. They want to be dominant. We will be tracking every update and every piece of information that comes out of Berea regarding these negotiations. The interest is real, the candidate is elite, and the timing is perfect. This could be the most important hire in the history of the modern Cleveland Browns franchise. It would signal to the rest of the league that Cleveland is open for business and ready to compete for a Lombardi trophy. The agent's comments about rapid outreach tell me that we are in the endgame of this coaching search. To wrap things up, we have seen the facts. Harbaugh has narrowed his list, Cleveland is on it, and the outreach is intense. This is an informative moment for the franchise, one that requires a steady hand and a clear vision. I will continue to provide you with the most reliable analysis as this situation evolves. Make sure to stay tuned for more deep dives into the Browns' offseason moves. Thank you for joining me for this technical breakdown. Make sure to subscribe for more deep analysis, and don't forget to let me know which city you are watching from. This is an exciting time to be a part of this community, and I look forward to bringing you more updates soon. The journey to the top of the AFC North might just have found its new leader.